Hi everybody, this is Jacob from qoliber. Today I will show you two amazing things. The first one is the open source library for PHP for dynamic JSON templates, which I call simply DJson, and a huge update to our SEO suite module for rich snippet, which is actually using the part of the DJson structure. So let me show you what I have in mind. Now, DJson is available at the djson.dav URL. You can check anything related to this library. You can use it. It's fully open source. So feel free to give me any feedback, create an issue, pull request, whatever you feel like. Check all the examples here, how this library can be used. And let me actually show you this in practice because we developed actually something cool for the rich snippet editor. Now, as you're probably aware, Google loves all this structured data and all the artificial intelligence bot scanning your website. They also like when rich snippet data is filled with the website. It's actually very important for all the scanners to have this data done properly. Now, if you do it with the code, with the PHP, and something changed in the attribute structure, you always, as a developer, are required to make changes to the code, add some conditional rendering, change the code, deploy it to the production. And I thought that was very unproductive. So that's why first I developed the DJson library, and then I implemented it with qoliber team to make sure that it works as the part of our module for the rich snippet. So let's start with some basics because this module is actually pretty advanced, and the module for Magento or MageOS actually has much more features than the DJson itself. So under qoliber tab, let's go to the schema templates. By default, if you install the module, you are 27 rich snippets are installed. Some of them are demo content, some of them are actually snippets you can just enable and have everything running for your website. So let's see how this works. Let's start with a very simple snippet, which is the organization one, which should be shown on the home page. Now, obviously, we got the basic configuration. The module supports different page types, and it's designed in a very flexible way. So if you have your custom modules with custom features, with a simple DI XML entry, you can add a new page types or a specific page, or you can simply specify the custom URL pattern or a custom handle. This way, you don't have to do actually any code to add rich snippet data or any page within your Magento system. So let's switch to the fun part. Now, this is the dynamic editor, which I actually designed and coded with a little code mirror support. Now, what you see here is fully draggable interface that you can manage everything within your Magento rich snippet data. Everything you see on the right, which are product variables, store configuration, system variables, which are actually, for example, data. We got child snippets, which I'll get in a moment. We got some collections like for the breadcrumbs. We got DJson structure for loops and some enumerations for the rich snippet schema org data. You don't have to use this. You can simply use a pure text and just save it and it will work out of the blue. But since this is like a dynamic syntax, that's why it was created, and it's a nice draggable interface. Now, the organization rich snippet, as you can see, is clearly visible. So let's head to the home page and view the page source. Scroll down, and here we go. So it's basically taking everything from the store configuration that is defined in the admin and puts them into the rich snippet data structure. There's two ways rendering this rich snippet data. The one is called debug mode, which is a JSON pretty print as you see on the screen. And the other one is the production mode, which basically makes the rich snippet concatenated in one line of string. So it saves you some additional bytes when downloading the data. But let's head to the more interesting part. Let's head to the product rich snippet, which is visible on the product page. So here we got something much more advanced, and that's why when this module actually shines and makes a lot of sense to use on production sites, because it supports conditional rendering and conditional preparation of data based on the DJson syntax, and it also provides you with the loops, so you can fully create an iteration. So this is a product rich snippet which shows the name, description, SKU, image. We have a conditional for a manufacturer. So let's see if it actually works on a product page. I did set the manufacturer for one of the products for this one. So let's browse the first one here. We got some reviews. Let's scroll to the bottom and we got the ratings and we don't see the brand. Right, so we got the whole offer, we got the address information, we got the merchant policy, which is another child snippet. Now, the child snippets have been created to be reusable within components, and you don't have to edit multiple rich snippets just to make a single change. That's why it's basically been created. We got the aggregate rating, so everything here is loaded from the product page. For some reason, this product doesn't have any description. So, but let's get back to the watch that we saw here. And let's browse the page source, scroll down, scroll up, and you can see the brand manufacturer is actually here. So this full dynamic syntax allows you to have like one template for all the attributes variation and everything you wish to change or configure in your backend interface. I believe that's pretty neat because this way you have one very simple to use module. Now at qoliber.com, at our docs, qoliber.com, the extension is also fully described. Especially take a look at the developer notes because we designed the module the way so it's fully extendable and customizable and pluginable with any custom code. And this documentation page says it all. It shows you what sort of information you can extend, but at the same time, I'll be honest with you guys, it's not that complex. It's just proper uses of dependency injection within Magento to fully extend your module with this data. Now, when we go back to the admin panel, we can also see there are some demo rich snippets. For example, we should have an FAQ here somewhere. Oh, here we go. So this is actually disabled. So there's not a problem to have the module fully just as a plain text with a copy paste. And the way the module works here on the backend is this is a draggable drop interface. So you just put the data anywhere you want. Now, if you put the data somewhere in the wrong space, you will get an immediate notification that the structure is invalid. The module also, thanks to the DJson syntax, fully supports the typecasting. So the floats are floats, booleans are booleans, and null variables are not strings with null. It's just a null variable for the JSON. So yeah, guys, that is it. You can see the benchmark on the DJson structure. So it turns out with large data sets, it's actually 2,222 times faster than any template system within the PHP framework. I believe that's neat, and this module perfectly fits any data transformation wherever you need to put anything into the JSON format from various data types. And you don't have to worry about the typecasting. The DJson fully supports objects, arrays, and checks for the property getters and object properties as well. If they are public, the data will be fully available. Let's just look at another one. Let's say, for example, let's switch to the breadcrumbs. So this is a rich snippet that is basically ready to use. You don't have to change or modify anything here. And you can see it's using the DJson for loop and it takes the properties from the breadcrumb item from the array in the code for our breadcrumbs, and it's also there. We can enable it. It's actually enabled, and the breadcrumbs are also created properly here. So any rich snippet configuration, your SEO team or your AEO team, things should be added to the website. This module gets you fully covered. It supports everything with the conditional rendering, so there's no need to any custom coding of the rich snippet data for the structure. And what is also very important, on the code level, all the values that are used in the syntax in our editor. So let's, for example, look at the reviews. We know that to display reviews, Magento has to do an additional database query to fetch the product reviews. Now, the whole module, the Rich Snippet version 2.0 module, is designed this way that the data is only loaded when it is actually specified within the template. We don't load all the data all the time. We just check what sort of variables are within the template and the child templates. 5-level nesting is allowed, and we have a protection against circular dependency. So you don't have to worry that something will break or you will hit the infinite loop. So if the data is specified in the rich snippet template with the DJson syntax, it will be loaded. If it's not defined, the value resolver will simply skip and not load additional data. And for the product page, we base on a product object that is based on a loaded within the product page. So we don't add any additional SQL queries unless an object requires this to be added. For example, reviews to be displayed in the rich snippet, they do require additional database query. That's why Magento shows them in a tab. Well, anyway, my point is this module doesn't produce any performance bottlenecks. It's production ready and has been released only 48 hours ago and has already reached 5 production websites. So I think that shows it all. If you have any questions, reach out to me or Ola from qoliber. So I'm pretty excited, both for the module, because it saves us now a lot of time. It saves merchants a lot of time managing all this structured data. And on top of that, we created this library, which allows you to transform any data object with a template to proper JSON syntax. And I believe that's pretty exciting. So thanks, guys, for listening. And hopefully see you at Meet Magento Poland in just 3 days. Have a great day.